Okay, so I just received a comment like 4 or 5 hours ago from somebody named Shane Taylor. All right. Now, one thing about me, hopefully you're watching this, Shane. One thing about me that you're going to know, that you're going to come to realize is that no matter whether a comment is positive, negative, obvious shot, or, constructive criticism of any kind, I'm going to do my best to respond in the most mature way possible. I know that you didn't take a shot or anything during this comment, but I don't know. A lot of people think that anytime they say anything, even remotely combative, that that it may be met with vitriol, and it's not going to happen like that. But I did read your comment, and I'm just going to read the comment real quick, just so it's clear what was said, and I'm going to respond. What was said was wrong. Chiefs trash ass 31st ranked defense should not put Brady over Mahomes. I believe that's why the Pats won, because Chiefs defense was last in the NFL, and Bill always outcoaches Andy. Mahomes did more than Brady, but he can't beat Brady and Bill. All right, now this is the thing about football, and this is why it's hard to compare just two individual players, especially when they're not on the field at the same time, is because they're going up against other teammates of the person that we're comparing them to. So when we compare Brady and Mahomes, it's really hard to compare them because they're not on the field at the same time. That's why I always get annoyed with the comment, or when anybody that says, "Oh, this person beat Brady, that person beats Brady." I said in a video that whenever the Patriots beat anybody, a lot of Tom Brady haters, and there are a lot of them out there, they look at everybody else on the team that played well or contributed. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. Like, to this day, I will always say James White should have won the MVP, Super Bowl MVP for the Super Bowl against Atlanta, because his 3 late game touchdowns was big for that team. So I honestly believe the MVP award should have went to him, but they gave it to Brady because Brady engineered. I'm not going to say he was instrumental. He engineered the comeback. So but I still, me personally, I would have gave it to James White. So I have no problem with acknowledging the success and the good play of other players. But a lot of times that you'll notice when the Patriots lose is always Brady's. They will somehow find Brady culpable. They'll find Brady culpable, and they'll always say, "Oh, Eli beat Brady," or "Peyton beat Brady," or "Rivers beat Brady," or something like that. And I think Tom Brady, honestly, Tom Brady is the most criticized football player, and I mean this. If you look at over all platforms of sports media, if you look, all over the internet, Tom Brady has to be the most unfairly criticized player that I've seen in the NFL in a long time. And he's up there with Tony Romo. He's up there with Donovan McNabb. So, I mean, I do think that it is unfairly balanced when it comes to that. Now, to answer your question, all right, that response was to the Brady or Mahomes over Brady or whatever. But to answer your question about the 31st ranked defense, I don't think the rankings matter with the defenses as much, and I'll show you here, because there have been multiple times, and I'm gonna go all the way back to 2001, 2001, the year that Brady started for New England, the start of the dynasty. I'm going all the way back then. All right. And we're going to look at how many times the Patriots defense was ranked, in the bottom 10, or no, in the bottom 12, from like 20 to 30, from 20th to 32nd in defense, in both yards and, points. And I'm gonna show you how you don't need a top ranked defense to make the playoffs. You don't need a top ranked defense to make a deep playoff run. You don't need a top ranked defense to win Super Bowls, even to make it to a Super Bowl. You don't need a top ranked defense to do any of that. All right, so we're gonna look here. All right, we're gonna go back to 2001. This was the first year that Brady started for the team. All right, they won the Super Bowl that year. Not every year they're going to be in the top 20s. I'm not saying. I mean, they're going to be ranked 20th or worse. I'm not saying that. Sometimes, the Patriots will be ranked number 1 or number 5 or number 7 or number 8. Sometimes you'll see that. But we're just going to count how many times they were ranked 20th in these categories. All right, now defensive rank is right there. Now let's go down. All right, so in 2001, their defensive rank in points were 6th, which is not bad at all. That's actually pretty good. But they were ranked 24th in yards. They were ranked 24th in yards. Now, a lot of people like to say, well, the reason why New England can't win in the Super Bowl like they used to is because they don't have the same defense. Well, this is saying that their defense was ranked 24th the first year that they won the Super Bowl when the team was solely reliant on the defense. The offense wasn't as explosive or as free-flowing as it is now. So you had to rely on your defense to help you win. They won 11-5 this year. They're ranked 24th right here. And the next year, they missed the playoffs this year, but they were ranked 17th in points and 23rd in yards. So that's twice. That's twice already in the first 2 years that Brady has been there that his defense in yards was ranked in the top 20s. I mean, not in the top 20s. Ranked 20th or worst. All right, in the bottom 12. That's the second time, 2 years in a row. All right, and even the year before, they were ranked 20th. So, I don't know, man. Now let's go to 2003. Now this is where the defense was actually really good, and this was when they got Rodney Harrison, and that defense was just on another level. They were ranked in the top 10. They were, it's not too much to say about that one. They were pretty good. And then in 2005, they were ranked 26th. So that's 3 times in 5 years that they're ranked in the bottom 12. 23rd or worse. 3 times in the first 4 years. All right. Now they had a couple of really good defensive performances. Now these, not 2006. I'm not going to say 2006. They had pretty good defense back then. I'm not going to take that away from them. But in 2007, their offense was so prolific. An argument can be made that their offense caused a lot of stress for the other team's offense. And, they were just running through teams. They beat Tennessee 59-0. They were just killing them. I mean, and when you're getting destroyed like that, and you can't answer back as quickly as they're scoring on you, I mean, it does something to your confidence. I mean, anybody that plays sports that has been down on the scoreboard, like I play football, and when you're down, it does something to you mentally. Sometimes it makes you angry. Sometimes it just makes you feel like, what the fuck is the point of trying? So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's the sole reason why that they're ranked in the top 5 in both of those categories, but when you beat teams down so much, or when teams are afraid of you, I mean, it could do just as much as whatever game plan you have cooked up for the game. Now, they were ranked, top 10s here, 11th. Now right here, 2010, they're ranked 25th. Now that's the fourth time in like 7 years, 8 years. So half the time that Brady has been there, his defense has been ranked in the bottom 12 in yards. Yards is more important than touchdowns, because touchdowns is iffy. Because there are so many times that teams will get the ball on the other side of the field because of turnovers. And, and then when you're pinned back into your like 5 or 10, I mean, it's hard to stop a team when your offense just turned the ball over and you're pinned into your territory. So, I don't know. I don't go too much off of touchdowns because, I mean, there's a million ways to score a touchdown. But yards is more of a telling stat right there. Um, Now we're up to 2000. Now we're gonna go to 2011. Right here, they're ranked 31st. They are one of the worst teams defensively. Right here, this is not good at all. Not good at all. And during a lot of this stretch, they didn't win a Super Bowl, but that is not good. And they were a playoff team. What was their record? 13-3. They were 13-3. All right, and I get the argument you're making. You're saying that the Chiefs had such a bad defense overall, not just not just looking at the sack numbers. Their defense was so bad overall because they're ranked 31st that there was no way they were gonna beat Brady. Look, an argument could be made for that. An argument could be made for that. But if that interception that tipped off of Gronkowski's hands and went to Sorensen, if that interception would have stood, I believe it was Sorensen. No, I think Sorensen caught the first one. I'm off on that one. But whoever the Chiefs player that caught that second pick or that third pick, if that pick would have stood, the Chiefs would have won that game, and your argument wouldn't have mattered if that would have stood. But I'm just saying, the Chiefs were still close to winning the game, even though they had a terrible defense. All right, so let's keep going. All right, now 2012, they're 25th. They got to the Super Bowl that year. They lost, but they got to the Super Bowl that year. They're 26th in 2013. They have a few top 15s right here. And then the past two seasons, they're 29th. They got to the Super Bowl. They're 21st. They won the Super Bowl. So you don't have to have a top 10 defense. You don't have to have a top. Look, the Bears had one of the best defenses in the league this year, and they got bounced out in the wild card round. So I don't know, man. Look, I'm not saying that your argument doesn't hold any weight. If a defense is that bad, and they were that bad, then but if the defense was that bad, ask yourself, why did they beat the Colts so bad? Even though the Colts was one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. Let's actually go look that up, man. The Colts were one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. They started off slow, but then they picked it up. And it was all thanks to getting Andrew Luck back. But we're going to go check this out real quick. I ain't going to take too long with this. So we're already up to 12 minutes. Right here. They had a pretty good year last year. They didn't start off so great, but they ended a whole lot better. I'm trying to press the thing, but it's acting retarded. All right, so let's go look at it. Let's look at records, or let's look at wins and losses. See, Jesus Christ, why did it take me all the way down there? All right, here we go. Look at that. Look at the wins and losses. All right, so for the first 8 weeks of the season, they lost 5 games. They only won 3, so they were 3-5. All right, and then look at from 10 to 17, they lost 1 game and they won 7 of them. Do you see how? Look at that! Look at that streak right there. Indianapolis was on a streak. They were on a streak. Look at that. They won 8 out of the last 9 games that they played. No, hell no. They won 10 out of the last 11 games that they played. Until they met in Kansas City in the playoffs. I'm sorry I'm stuttering, but I'm trying to talk and think at the same time. And I'm trying to find a score. I'm pretty sure that's the score. Yeah, that's the score. They lost by 18 points, man. They got thoroughly defeated, man. They got thoroughly defeated. So I don't think defense. Your argument about defense really doesn't help your argument too much, man. Because we've seen terrible defenses win Super Bowls before. We've seen great defenses lose playoff games before. Not even Super Bowls, playoff games. The New York Giants twice going into the playoffs wasn't even a great team. They were in a wild card. And then they went straight to they got hot late. And that's the one thing about sports, man. Momentum really does matter, man. And all momentum really is just like confidence, self confidence, believing that you can do something that nobody else believes you can do, and I think that's what matters more, man. And that's why I think New England, their defense was lousy all year long. They managed to mask it with, you know, great play from other players. Their offensive line was shitty all year long, but they were able to hold it together until the playoffs started. And then once the playoffs started, the defense played well. The offensive line started to play better. So I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the comment. I like it when people voice their opinions. I like it when people give me feedback. I like when people say how they're feeling on certain topics. I mean, interaction is fun for me. I mean, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm stuttering a lot because sometimes when I talk, I think at the same time, and it fucks me up. But thanks for the comment, man, and I hope this cleared that up for you. All right.